Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So we are working still on tail feathers. We will be doing that for quite a bit, I think. Yeah, kind of in a inlet here. I've worked around it. Now there's another round motif there, so that's what I'm going to start working on today. Yeah, so I think I have one more session after this one before the end of the month. So yeah, I might reach 43%, I might not. It really all depends. So yeah, it's a cooler day, but it is nice and sunny. Went to run errands today and had the windows open, which I like. Nice fresh air, yeah. So yeah, some of these colors, we're starting to get closer to 0 on, although I think the smallest number we have, let's take a look, is 96, yeah. So, but it's kind of scattered all throughout the tail feathers, so yeah, I'm thinking we're probably not going to hit any zeros until we get to the, like last or maybe second to last pass on this piece. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the pattern. I had my last big project, not the, oh, you're not going to do that, are you? The Soulful Mediterranean Tranquility. It took me until, yeah, close to half before I had my first 0, and then I didn't get another 0 for quite a while after that, a few months. So yeah. Yeah, again, it depends a lot on the picture you're making. Sometimes you get zeros earlier than others, just depending on the composition of it. Okay, so yeah, the colors, oh, you are going to just be like that, huh? Okay. I think I'll have to do what I did last time, which is to close off Pattern Keeper and start it again because it is being annoying. Let's see if it will behave now. Yeah, I was having a bit of an ordeal here trying to get my tablet capture program to work. Yeah, it kept being weird. I don't know if it updated or something since the last time I used it. It was trying to get me to allow it to use the microphone, but I record the tablet capture with no sound because obviously you don't want it recording the sound as well as my camera. That would be, yeah. Either you'd have a horrible echo thing going or I have to remove the sound later, and it's just one extra step. I would rather record it without the sound in the first place. Okay, so let's take a look here. What we've got for these different threads here. That's not a long one. I have another down here. That one's longer, but I think I'm going to use that one for the color that sort of curves along the bottom and use this top one here for the top bit. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of closing in, I think. That just cannot be helped. But as usual, I try to limit that and work from the established edges as usual. So sometimes I work from the top down, sometimes from the bottom up, sometimes kind of from the side outwards, just all sort of depends. Yeah, this one is getting a little tricky. what I might actually do is drop down to here, work across like this, and then fill in upwards is what I think I might end up doing here. That might just make a little more sense, so I'll give it a shot. If I decide I don't like it, I will just change back. Okay, and once again, I'm going to check the length of the thread that I have already parked there. That's medium. It's not terribly long, but not too short either. Oh yeah, this is a color I bought a while ago. It was on a bobbin. I can tell because the thread has got bends in it from being, yeah, wrapped around a bobbin for years. Okay, so I could sort of work even further down, but it sort of just kind of keeps on going. So I'm just gonna, like I said, make a cutoff here because of this motif. That's sort of the edge of it, and fill in from there is what I think I'm going to do, at least for the moment. That may change as I stitch. I often have a plan in mind and then end up changing my mind. So yeah, we will see. Just going to tuck these threads away. There we go. Like I say, I have to make a break somewhere, so. Eventually the whole thing gets filled in. Some might find this a bit more confusing than my old diagonal method. Yeah, I find this a little easier in that I'm changing colors a little less often, but yeah, stitch it your way. Okay, put that there. So then, take a look here. Yeah, either way, I've sort of got to do a couple out of order. But again, I like to have it connected on one side and not closed in on all four. So this still sticks to that guideline. Yeah, Pattern Keeper's behaving now. Yeah, I was a little worried if my tablet screen capture was going to stop working. This is a little free program that I use. I don't really feel like paying for it. I have to watch ads every now and then before I'm allowed to sort of initialize the recording, but yeah, I don't mind doing that. As long as they don't overdo it on ads, like if they were to interrupt me while I was recording, that I would not like. But yeah, if I have to watch sort of one before or one after, that's not a big deal. Yeah, it's kind of a sweet spot you have to find because, yeah, there's a lot of games I've tried that they say, oh, free to play with ads, but they put so many ads that, yeah, it's just, it gets so irritating that I don't play at all. And it's like, I get it, they're trying to make money, but it's like, if you have a significant number of people like me who are going to download it, try maybe 3 levels and give up because you're making them watch ads every 10 seconds, then how much money are you actually making? Whereas if you know, were more reasonable and make them watch one ad every 4 or 5 levels, yeah, in the long run you would make more money if you could get the person to stick with your game, right? Yeah, there's one game I like to play, the Tiki Solitaire Tri-Peaks. Yeah, I've been playing it for years. I think it's 10 years old now, something like that. Yeah, they did just have a big anniversary, so my bad for not remembering, but yeah, I stopped playing for a few years. Yeah, I played for a few years on a team, and then it was kind of such a big time suck that I quit for a while, and then I downloaded it again about a year ago, and I'm hooked again, so yeah. Well, you can play individually on those. Pardon me, a little dehydrated here. You can play individually, or you can play on a team where you get to earn perks together that make the game easier to win, and you get more prizes and stuff. And I think the big key is to find a team that fits you. Yeah. Because some of the teams, like, they take it very seriously. They treat it like a full-time job, and it's like, it's a game, and it's not like it even pays you money. You know how some games you can win actual cash prizes? Like, all the stuff you win in the game is just for in the game, right? Wild cards and game coins and free plays and things like that. So it is just a game with no financial stake in the real world. And I don't want anyone who takes it too seriously, but I also don't want to be on a team that doesn't really play and we don't get the perks. So yeah, you have to sort of find your sweet spot of finding the right team for you. I mean, like I said, you can play without a team, but it's a lot harder to, yeah, win and gain the good prizes without it. So yeah, but when I joined again, I went through a few teams, about 4 or so, and then, yeah, sort of, I just started at a rookie team. I earned enough points that people sort of from the next league above me recruited me. I earned enough points that I moved up a couple of leagues. And then, yeah, I found one that was a really good fit, and I've been there about a year now, I think. Yeah, and I'm really happy. I have no plans to leave because, yeah, they always say real life comes first. As long as you communicate that you won't be able to play, you know, and make your minimums, they're very understanding, and they'll bring in sort of, people have second accounts or extra helpers to help us finish quests and that. So yeah, that's much preferred for me because, like I said, yeah, some of those top teams, it's just wild. People treat it like it's an actual job, and it's like, yeah, no thanks. If you're not going to pay me in real money, I am not looking to take on a job. Yeah. Yeah, it's really bad. One of my friends, her ex-husband actually went into debt over one of those games. He got really addicted, and he kept paying to buy, yeah, like more power-ups. And she's like, I mean, if you're gonna do that, at least play a game where you could actually win real money, right? Oh goodness. Yeah, I mean, I've had games where I enjoyed it, but yeah, it got to be where it was too tough to keep playing because they want to force you to pay for their power-ups, that I just stopped playing. And again, so I said, like, how much money are you really making, right? If they get greedy about it. Because there was one game I enjoyed for quite a while. It was called Panda Pop. And it was a marble popper game. And you could win, you know, bonus power-ups and stuff. They would have quests. And you could replay old levels to win. So if it would say, you know, pop, you know, this many red lanterns to get, like, a wild or whatever, you could do that. You could go replay old levels to get it. Then they changed it, and you could only do it by playing new levels. And I'm like, well, then I'm done. You know, I enjoyed your game. I played that for like 3 or 4 years, I think. But then, yeah, they got greedy, and so I quit. Yeah. I am not spending real money on a phone game. Yeah, the only time I spend money on a game is like if it's for Nintendo and it's like Legend of Zelda and you're paying for the actual game, but that's it, you know. I don't think you can even pay to buy special items in that game. I don't think. I think it's all, you have to earn it on your merits, which is part of the yeah, like you can buy stuff with in-game coins, but you have to earn all those coins, kind of thing. That's always been the case with all of their games, right? Before there was internet, yeah, you earned in-game rupees and then you could spend them on buying arrows or whatever. But yeah, I don't think that has changed now, even in these new ones that are more open world and such. Yeah, we still haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom. It's a hard one. My husband hasn't been playing it as much lately, so yeah. I haven't played any of the newer um, Switch games. I find the controls are a lot tougher than they were on N64, so yeah, I haven't really done it yet. I will probably one of these days, but I just haven't yet. But I mean, there's tons of side quests and things that you can do. Lots of power-ups you can earn to upgrade your armor and stuff, yeah. Because we did finish, pardon me, we did finish Breath of the Wild, but not the second Tears of the Kingdom. And yeah, my husband's boss, they play it too, and so, you know, he messaged him like, how do you win? It's so hard. And we had to tell him, oh, well, you need to get this specific armor, and you need to upgrade it to the max. And then he did that, and he's like, oh, yeah, I was able to pass that like the second try after that. It's like, yeah, you need the right equipment or it just does not work. Yeah, as is the case in life, right? Yeah, if you don't have the proper tools, it definitely makes a big difference. Okay, so yeah, this is where this motif is going to start curving up that way. That's where I'm going to make a break, fill that all in. Then I'll come back down here and do that. Although it will be a while before I get to there, obviously. Crossing as I go this time, because I'm thinking I want the thread on the other end because there might be enough to do the last 2 stitches with it. So that is what I will do. Just barely, but yeah. For the moment, I'm going to just leave that unthreaded. I'm going to cut that off right there. So take all of these, take any needles off. I could keep going, but I kind of, like I often say, I don't want to spread out over too large an area or end up with too many live needles and then things start to tangle. And that is no fun. So yeah, break it into smaller sections, and it's, I find, a little easier to control. But yeah, I'm loving the detail on this. These tail feathers are lovely, vibrant. A lot of times I find with cross stitch, these big pieces, you kind of have to back up to sort of get the full effect of the whole picture, but this one I'm finding, even when you're working up close, it still looks pretty good. So that's what I'm calling this the color flow method now. Thank you to Lori Clark for her suggestion a few months back. I couldn't think of what my new name was, and she suggested that. And I thought, that's perfect. So that is what we have stuck with. But yeah, following the way the color goes across the piece has become my preferred way to stitch now. I think this should be long enough. So about 400 something stitches will probably bring me to 43%. So like I said, with one more session after this one, that's probably doable, but we will see. That was pretty much just right. Yeah, I've been saying to my husband, I can tell which nights I sleep well because those are the nights, or the next day, I get like 500 stitches done. And the days I only get 100 or 200 stitches are the ones I didn't sleep well because, yeah, I want to stitch, but then my brain is just like mush. Yeah. No point trying to force myself to do it when I'm tired. I won't enjoy it and I will just mess it up. End up having to redo it later. Yeah, I had a friend who said she took her knitting with her, lace knitting with her to the hospital to have something to do after surgery. And she said, yeah, I don't recommend that because I made so many mistakes. It took me more trouble to fix it later once I had recovered and wasn't loopy. Yeah. Okay, so I did those. Do these. So like I said, there is some closing in, like this stitch here is on all three sides, or on three of the sides, but it's not on all four, so yeah. That's what I try to stick to. So I'm gonna park this for now. And we'll switch colors again. So yeah, even though these are kind of poking out a bit, they're still going to be connected on one side. So I'm going to do that and then do the other colors around them. So that is why I chose to do that way. 3. Yeah, so kiddo had his final exam for commercial cooking. It wasn't a written exam, they had to make something, so, and they didn't get to know ahead of time what they were making, so yeah, his groups was chicken Alfredo, and then he got to bring home his portion and have it for lunch, so yeah. Yeah, he's turning into a pretty good cook. That's one he probably gets from me. My husband doesn't cook. I mean, he can, but it's not very good. Yeah. He just sort of like, he made this fried thing one time with, I don't know, basically everything he had in the cupboard, and it was not good. Ugh. That was when we were engaged. Yeah, I was like, ugh. That's the thing, is he eats anything. Like, there's only been a couple times in our whole relationship that I wrecked something so bad even he couldn't eat it. And I tell people that is how you knew it was bad, is if even he couldn't eat it, then yeah, it was terrible. Oh. Yeah, he's not picky. We were married for, oh sheesh, I'm trying to think now. It was over 10 years at least before he told me that he doesn't really like fish. And I said, well, why didn't he ever say anything? And he said, well, I'm not cooking it and I don't hate it. So, you know, like, he said, so what was the point? But I just said, well, you should have told me, because, you know, I wouldn't serve you something that you don't like if I'd known. So, yeah, I cook salmon for myself, and our son likes it when his dad's away on work trips. Yeah, that's when I make it. Well, the thing is, too, where we live on the prairies now, fish is more expensive. When I grew up in BC, seafood is cheap because we're right on the coast, right? So, yeah. And beef was more expensive, and then now we live here in beef country, so beef is cheaper, and yeah, the seafood has to be imported, so it's more expensive. Yeah, I grew up on Vancouver Island till I was about 15, and I remember my grandma, when we were staying with her sometimes in the summer, she would take us to the docks, and we get stuff that was caught like that morning, right? And help her shelling shrimp or whatever, and then we'd have it for lunch. Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, I said I was so jealous one time. My husband had to go for this work thing for a week in Halifax, and so of course everything there was seafood, right? Because yeah, Atlantic Canada, you're right on the coast. Yeah, that's what they cook. And I said, oh, I was so jealous because I love seafood, right? And he doesn't like it. He said, I ordered a chicken burger, and he said it must have been sitting in the freezer for like 5 years because it was horrible. He said it was like eating a piece of shoe leather, right? It was not good. So yeah, and their boss actually bought everybody lobster the one night. He doesn't really like it. I've had lobster, but honestly, I think it's kind of overrated, personally. I would rather have scallops. Or even salmon. Yeah. Like, it's okay, but I don't think it's that much better than shrimp that it's worth so much extra cost. Yeah. Well, my mom, she grew up in the tropics, and she said, yeah, they would have, during the crab migration season, they would just be like, the roads would be completely covered with them. You could just go outside your door and grab as many as you liked. Yeah. Yeah, or she said, like, the coconut you get here is nothing like you get there. She said there you get it right off the tree, and it's still so soft you can basically scoop it out of the shell like you would a kiwi fruit or something. She said, yeah, by the time they get it here, it's all dried out and hard, right? Yeah. So I'm not a big coconut fan, but yeah, I'd be kind of curious to try that when it's fresh. yeah, it took her a lot to get used to because, like I said, she came from the tropics, and then when she came to Canada, she came to Prince George, where it's way up north, it's freezing and it's humid, freezing. Yeah. So like -45 with the humidity, that feels like it's cutting you to the bone. Like here we get cold, but generally it's quite dry, so it doesn't feel quite as bone chillingly cold. But yeah, she came from the tropics to that, so yeah, it was quite a shock. Yeah, we were up there until I think I was about 3 or 4, and my sister was curious as to what would happen, so she filled up my boots with water and she stuck them outside on the back stoop, and of course they froze solid. And I was so upset because I couldn't go outside to play for like 3 or 4 days while my mom dried them out, right? She had to like invert them in like the utility sink and let all the water, yeah, all the ice melt and drain out, and then it took, you know, days of it sitting over the radiator for the inside, because of course they're lined, right, because it's very, very cold. So yeah, and yeah, it took days, and I was mad too because like the inner lining of the boots, they were nice and soft before, and then after that they were all matted, and like, yeah, I was not happy. Oh, siblings, right? Oh. Yeah, they drive you crazy, but then at the same time, you know, they wrestle a bear for you, right? So, yeah. Yeah, siblings is either that level of devotion or, you know, don't even breathe on me. No in between. Yeah, my sister and I were pretty close growing up. We actually liked sharing a room. Yeah, I know a lot of siblings complain about it, but we enjoyed it, so. Yeah, unfortunately, we live far apart now, so we don't get to see each other in person very often. Yeah, the last time, or maybe the time before, that we went to visit my husband's family, I wanted to see my sister's family too, because they're there, and unfortunately they had happened to pick that same week to go camping, so, and out of province, so yeah, unfortunately we missed each other. It's like, darn it. It wasn't like we picked a long weekend or something, that it just happened to be, yeah, we all ended up with the same weeks for holidays, so, and going in different directions, so unfortunately, yeah, we didn't get to see each other, so. Yeah, sometimes it happens that way. Or yeah, we had one year that my sister happened to be in sort of the midpoint between us, so she let me know and said, hey, you know, if you want to drive the other halfway, we can meet in the middle. So yeah, that was nice. We got to do that. Okay. Okay, so we're at 42.90. So yeah, less than 40, less than 400 stitches should take us to, yeah, my chart says about 370 should take us to 43%. So I should think that, yeah, that is doable. Even if there's a couple of days I don't get to stitch a lot, that should be possible. Oops. Oh, goodness. There we go. Work around this corner here. Okay, gonna fill in that little indentation there. Oh, goodness. Oh, what did I do here? Oh, I missed one. Shoot. Yeah, I missed one of that color. 898. Okay. Ah, rats. Yeah, I wasn't paying enough attention there. I bet some of you noticed, hey? All right, well, that's okay. Like I often say, I would rather forget to fill one in than stitch an extra that isn't supposed to be there. That's a lot tougher to fix later. I could have just filled it in with this other colors. They're quite similar, but I will do it correctly. I've done that a couple of times when, yeah, the colors were so similar and it was like one missing stitch. I have cheated and done that. These are a little more different, so. At any rate, I've got a short little piece here to use up, so that'll work. Okay, there we are. There's something here. There we go. So here I'm only juggling about 5 different needles. So I find that's pretty easy for me to keep from getting tangled. If there's more, then it gets a little... I can do it. I've done up to 15, but it does get a little trickier. So yeah, I find trying to keep it around 6 to 8 is the sweet spot. Okay, and so it's starting to curve back this way, so I'm going to work a little further with these colors, and then I'm going to go back over to that left-hand edge and start working out again. as well. It's right in the corner. But then, yeah, I don't do these two up here because I don't want to close in that one there completely. So not there. Okay. Make sure I'm grabbing the correct one here. Sometimes I can separate them with my nails, but sometimes it gets a little tougher. Okay, yes, so here's where I'm gonna start working those. yellow. Oops. If I accidentally color in one of the ones that was already stitched, then, because it does that in case you need to remove stitches. So you can either highlight stuff that hasn't been stitched yet, or you can highlight stuff that has, but you can't do both. So, yeah. Oops. So I will carry some of these threads upwards, and I may start and carry some downwards. Well, again, I'll decide when I get there. Just gonna move these out of my way. this piece is almost done, so I'm going to park it here to do those stitches that are kind of not connected. We'll get a new thread to continue on with. Oops, grab 2 needles there. Right, so had a whole bunch in a row, but now we're going to have to start switching colors a bit. Fuzzy. that one there. Yeah, so I was saying I'd probably finish the tail feathers that are in this section next month, but then I remembered that we are planning on doing renovations, so we'll see how much time that eats up. Yeah, I'll try to keep up with making videos for you all, but that means I'll have less in between sessions that I make for you guys, so I might make a little less overall progress this upcoming month. All depends. Yeah, we gotta do carpets and painting, some drywall work. Also gotta replace Kiddo's bed because, yeah, he has gotten too big for it. Yeah, he's almost his dad's height now, so yeah, we gotta get him a bigger bed. Yeah, we actually got him a bunk bed set, and then his stuffed animals go on top at the moment. It was actually cheaper to buy him a bunk bed than to buy a separate twin bed, so that's why we did that. And we figured there was extra storage space on top for the stuffed animals, so yeah. Just gonna do these ones right along this edge here. Actually, what I might also do is that one right there. Yeah. Because then I can stitch around it. Yeah, I always say he has too many stuffed animals. He doesn't need any more. And then, like, every birthday or Christmas, whoops, I fell there. Every birthday or Christmas, I end up buying him a new one. Last Christmas, he got a Moopsie because, yeah, he watches Lower Decks with us, the Star Trek, and he liked the Moopsie, which was, yeah, this cute little cuddly creature that looks like a little Pokemon. It's actually a scary monster who drinks bones, so, yeah. It was funny because somebody ordered one online and they had accidentally sewn its face on upside down. And so somebody said it was a whoopsie instead of a moopsie. Yeah, and then like the Christmas before, I got him a squishmallow because it was just so cute and I had to. And it was a bug and his nickname is Bug, so I said I had to get a bug for my bug. Still call him that even though, yeah, he's taller than me now. Not that that takes a lot because I'm pretty short, but still. Ugh. Yeah, like someone said, when your sons are taller than you and you try to tell yourself that you're still in charge. Hmm. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gonna unthread that because I won't get to it for a bit. Because, yeah, what I will probably start doing is filling in this here. So continue to curve around here and keep filling in sort of another scale that way. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. But yeah, we did quite a lot today. 220 stitches. I'm quite happy with that progress. So thank you so much for joining me today and hope to see you here next time. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.